In the world of business, some companies rise slowly, step by step, and some explode into global empires. But very few come close to the strange journey of McDonald's, the world's largest fast food chain, an American icon, and one of the most successful business models ever created. Yet most people don't know that McDonald's came dangerously close to collapsing not once, but twice. And the story behind its survival has more to do with money, land, and power than burgers and fries. To understand how McDonald's almost went bankrupt, we have to go back to the very beginning. Before the golden arches, before the clown mascot, before the billion-dollar real estate strategy that transformed a small restaurant into a global giant. In 1940, two brothers, Richard and Morris McDonald, opened a small restaurant in San Bernardino, California. At first, it looked like any ordinary roadside food joint: barbecue, sandwiches, a few stools, and a long menu. But 8 years later, the brothers performed one of the most important innovations in food industry history. They noticed that customers always ordered the same items: burgers, fries, milkshakes. So they decided to redesign the entire restaurant around speed and efficiency. The Speedy Service System was born. Instead of a chef cooking everything on demand, the kitchen became a production line. Buns moving in one direction, patties in another, fries frying constantly, shakes spinning non-stop. It was fast, it was clean, and it was unbelievably consistent. Customers were shocked. This wasn't food, this was engineering. The McDonald brothers had unintentionally invented the model for the modern fast food industry. But even though they had created a system worth millions, they didn't fully understand its potential. They were proud of their single restaurant. They were comfortable. And sometimes comfort stops innovation. Hundreds of miles away, a 52-year-old traveling salesman named Ray Kroc was struggling. He drove across America selling milkshake mixers, one diner at a time, one road at a time. Business was slow, money was tight, and the dream of success felt like it was slipping away. Then, one day, he received an unusual order. A restaurant in California wanted 8 milkshake mixers. No one had ever ordered that many. Curious, Kroc traveled to see the restaurant. When he reached San Bernardino, he stood frozen. He watched burgers flying off the grill at lightning speed, fries dropping into boxes with perfect timing, customers lining up like it was a festival. He realized something instantly. The McDonald brothers hadn't built a restaurant. They had built a system, and systems can scale. Systems can go nationwide. Systems can become empires. Kroc had found the opportunity of his lifetime. But the brothers didn't share his ambition. They were content with being small. Kroc wanted America. After months of persuasion, the McDonald brothers finally signed a deal with Ray Kroc. He would become the national franchise operator. He would expand McDonald's across America. But the deal was heavily one-sided. The brothers controlled everything, and Kroc received only a tiny percentage of each restaurant's profits. To grow the brand, Kroc traveled constantly. He opened new locations. He trained new franchise owners. He demanded consistency, from the burger size to the fry length. But expansion cost money, a lot of money. And Kroc's percentage was too small to sustain the growth. He had created dozens of franchises, yet he couldn't pay his bills. By 1959, McDonald's had nearly 100 locations, but Kroc was drowning financially. The more restaurants he opened, the more debt he collected. It was a business model designed for growth, but not for profit. And McDonald's, the brand destined for global domination, was standing on a cracked foundation. One wrong decision, one financial misstep, and the whole empire would have collapsed. Ray Kroc was nearly bankrupt. Franchising wasn't producing enough money. The McDonald brothers refused to change the contract, and investors were losing confidence. That's when someone unexpected entered the story, a financial genius named Harry Sonneborn. Sonneborn looked at McDonald's financial records for 1 hour and told Kroc a sentence that would change corporate history. Ray, you're not in the hamburger business, you're in the real estate business. Sonneborn's idea was revolutionary. Instead of earning a tiny royalty from franchise owners, McDonald's would buy the land under each new restaurant. Franchise owners would not only pay fees, they would pay rent. Rent that increased over time. Rent that lasted forever. This changed everything. In one stroke, McDonald's became a landlord, a property empire, a consistent cash flow machine. The company no longer depended on burger sales. Its strongest asset became land ownership. Sonneborn's model pulled McDonald's out of its financial crisis. For the first time, Ray Kroc had enough power and money to grow the company aggressively. But this success made one thing painfully clear. Kroc had to take full control, and that meant removing the McDonald brothers. By 1961, McDonald's was booming again. But every major decision still required approval from the McDonald brothers. Kroc was furious. He had grown the brand, he had saved the company, he had risked everything, yet he still didn't own it. So Ray Kroc made a bold and ruthless decision. He offered the brothers $2.7 million to buy the entire company. This was enough for them to retire comfortably. After weeks of negotiation, the brothers agreed. The Golden Arches were now in Kroc's hands, legally, fully, permanently. But the real twist hides in a missing piece of paperwork. Legend says Kroc verbally promised the brothers 1% of all future sales. That clause never appeared in the contract. It was never written down. If that 1% had been honored, the McDonald brothers' families would have earned more than $300 million every year for life. Instead, they walked away with a one-time payout. They built the idea. Kroc built the empire. But the cost of that empire was a fractured legacy. Soon after, Kroc bought the original McDonald's restaurant from the brothers, and shut it down. Then he built a new McDonald's right across the street, a message that could be seen miles away. McDonald's belonged to Ray Kroc now. With full control and a powerful real estate model, Kroc moved fast. He standardized every detail: the menu, the colors, the kitchen layout, the employee training. Even the angle of the French fry scoop McDonald's became a machine, an operational masterpiece, a brand that could be replicated anywhere in the world. Leave this mouse and still feel exactly the same. By the 1970s, McDonald's was no longer a restaurant chain. It was a global institution, a symbol of American culture, and one of the most profitable business models on the planet today. McDonald's owns more than $40 billion in real estate. It earns billions in rent before a single burger is sold. The company could shut down food operations entirely, and it would still be a real estate giant. That's the secret behind its survival. That's the reason it never went bankrupt. And that's the brilliance of a financial strategy invented by a man who understood land better than fast food. The story of McDonald's is not just about hamburgers. It's a story of ambition, innovation, conflict, and ruthless decisions. A story where a struggling salesman saw potential where others saw limitations. The McDonald brothers created the system. Ray Kroc built the empire. Harry Sonneborn engineered the financial engine behind it all, and somewhere in the middle of this journey, McDonald's almost collapsed twice, but each time it was saved by reinvention. Today, the Golden Arches are more than a logo. They're a lesson in business strategy, a symbol of American capitalism, and a reminder that the biggest companies often stand on the narrowest edges. This is how McDonald's almost went bankrupt, and how it became one of the most powerful companies on earth.